Hey, what's up, YouTube? This is Daniel, and this channel is called the Parenting Puzzle. And what we'll be doing is we'll be working on our parenting puzzles, because parenting is a puzzle, the puzzle of parenting. All right, they're cool. Okay, so something that's been on my heart about parenting, and I hope that I can articulate what's in my heart, what God has placed in my heart, but something that's been in my heart was, as I reflect on my experience with my parents and my experience of parenting, what I realized was a lot of the thoughts and the perspectives, and my outlook on life was largely shaped by my relationship with my parents. And so because I grew up in a home that was filled with, chaos and violence and evil speaking and all different types of sin, that was all invested into me over the course of, 18 years that I was with them. They invested all of that sin into me. So I say that to say, and it's so amazing because this really connects to the Genesis 1 narrative where, God says to man, created man, and he shares that, let's create man in our image. In his conversation with himself, he says, let's create man in our image and in our likeness. And the image, that could also mean reflection, right? Like we're created to reflect who God is. Like parents specifically were created to reflect who God is to their children. The children then internalize that and reflect that out. And that's how it originally was supposed to work, and that's how it still works now. Only difference is with sin in the picture, there is a breakdown in that reflection process. I like that. There's a breakdown, right? So not only is man broken God's law, but he's failing to reflect the nature and the character of God. And that is directly tied, that is in direct context with the family unit. So we see the breakdown of the family unit through this breakdown in relationship between God and man. And so I say all that to say, it's a complex picture, but if I could simplify it, is much of the way that we show up today as people is largely influenced by those early childhood years, those early childhood caretaker years. Whoever took care of us, right? Parents or whoever, they largely impact how we show up in the world today. All the traumatic experiences we have had, all the pain, the suffering, the hurt, or maybe there's good habits that we had too. There's some things that might be good habits that were passed down to us, largely is attributed to that first relationship that you had, and that's how it was God designed it to be. And so I say that to have is I say that to say, through Jesus, right, through our relationship, our connection with Jesus, right, that broken cycle can be repaired. And when I say a broken cycle, that broken cycle of basically, parents failing to reflect who God is, his nature and his character, right, can be broken through Jesus. And it has been in my life. I can see it. I still have sin and I still struggle with sin, but God has restored a lot of the brokenness that has happened to me as a child, and in turn that enabled me to become a better parent. So one of the keys to being a better parent is really you have to find healing for your own self. right? If you don't find that healing, then you're just going to end up breaking your children. I mean, I don't want to say that lightly, because that's such a tragic narrative or experience, or I don't know how to say it. That's such a tragic situation but this is the world we live in. You have people that are broken, breaking other people. But the good thing is, and the good side to it is that once God heals you, once you're healed by God, like he can start to work with you to heal other people, and so I guess all that I wanted to share was, and I wanted to go into a little bit more detail, but I guess the point of what I'm trying to share is we should all seek to be godly parents. But if you're not seeking to be a godly parent, there's still healing available to you to be healed. I don't know how long it will last, or I don't know, because Jesus is the great physician. He's the one that can heal us. Honestly, I don't know if there's too many options outside of Jesus. I don't believe there is, because he says he's the healer. Once he says he's the healer, that rules out anybody else from being the healer. He exclusively is the healer. And whatever healing work that is completed, he has to sign off on that. Right? And I do think that there is, I don't want to go too deep into that. But anyway, the main point that I'm trying to say here is this. I'm trying to make several main points. It's so funny. But you know what? Let me just get off of here, because I'm running out of time and I don't want to make this video too long. Anyway, the main point is to become more of a godly parent. You're going to need God. That's what I'll say. And I'm going to be talking about this topic a lot more, but I just wanted to kind of talk about that. I hope it wasn't too confusing, and I hope that I wasn't too complex. But if it helped you, can you like it so that somebody else can share it? And so, yeah, thanks for listening. All right, gotta go. Peace.